Ashneer Grover, former managing director at BharatPe, and his wife Madhuri Jain were stopped at the Indira Gandhi International Airport on Thursday evening while they were travelling to New York. News 9 can now confirm that a lookout circular was issued earlier this week by the EOW, Economic Offences Wing, amid ongoing investigation against the two for alleged fraud at BharatPe. The couple was detained before security check and was asked to join the EOW probe at Mandir Marg next week. This as per Sindhu Pillai, Joint Commissioner of Police, EOW, who spoke to TV9 just a couple of minutes ago. The action is a part of an ongoing investigation into BharatPe co-founder Ashneer Grover and his family members. The probe has resulted in unearthing some extreme and grave details. The probe so far suggests that recruitment firms linked to BharatPe co-founders Ashneer Grover and his family members used backdated invoices to siphon off funds from their own company. A whole host of charges amid all of this, a fresh development. Both Ashneer Grover, his wife Madhuri Jain Grover, were stopped at the airport. They were boarding a flight to New York.
That's right, Shweta. Now, I think the critical question that emerges obviously is that were Ashneer Grover and his wife Madhuri Jain trying to flee the country? In light of these recent developments which have come through the EOW submitting its report to Delhi High Court, suggesting that there was indeed great probability of funds being siphoned off from BharatPe to personal accounts of family members of Ashneer Grover and his wife Madhuri Jain. Now, when we spoke to the Joint Commissioner of Delhi Police EOW wing earlier before we entered into the studio to do this show, I think one thing was very clear that yes, Ashneer Grover and Madhuri Jain were at the airport. They were on a ticket to New York. We were not able to confirm whether it was a one-way ticket or whether it was a return ticket. I think what reports indicate right now suggests that the couple were according to them, traveling on a vacation, traveling on holiday. However, I think the lookout circular which has been issued by EOW is fairly serious and prevents persons who are under investigation from traveling abroad. And hence, at the airport last night, they were stopped and they were asked to turn back and go back to their Delhi residence. Now, what is this whole case about? What is the controversy all about? I think it's important to note that the issue actually started soon after Ashneer Grover had reached pretty much his fame point in regular drawing room conversations by his presence on the Shark Tank jury for season 1. And immediately after that, the unearthing of potential fraud committed by him and his wife Madhuri Jain was reported by the BharatPe board. Eventually, it led to both Madhuri Jain and Ashneer Grover's ouster from the company, but a fraud to the tune of apparently 82 crore rupees and upwards was reported by the board of BharatPe. Now, after the investigations by the Economic Offences Wing of Delhi Police were concluded, what came to light earlier this week was the fact that there were as many as 8 HR firms, bogus HR firms, created by Ashneer Grover and his wife and other family members, and there was a transfer of more than 7 crore rupees into those accounts. Now, very interestingly and foolishly at that, if I may, 5 out of these 8 companies had a residential address belonging to one of the family members of Madhuri Jain on the accounts, on the KYC account of the bank that received these payments. Now, also very interestingly, the invoices by these fake HR firms were raised to BharatPe for payment even before these firms had opened a bank account. And 3, most interestingly, apparently all of these 8 HR firms did no HR recruitment staffing work for BharatPe. So, why were these companies set up and what was the modus operandi? What was the purpose of setting them up? And if they did not do any material work for BharatPe, then why were payments made to them in the first place? And these payments, of course, were then later self-withdrawn by apparent family members of the Grover family.
And the Grover family so far has denied these allegations. In fact, you've spoken to Ashneer Grover's wife, who neither confirmed nor denied these allegations.
I mean, my pointed questions in the private conversation with her were whether she denies these reports, and she pretty much did not deny them. Right, she did not even confirm them, but she did not deny them as well, to a point that I also asked her.
But she did call them a recycle of all the allegations.
She called them a recycle of all the allegations leveled by BharatPe on the couple, on the family in the past. In fact, over the last 2-3 days, we've seen a social media ruckus where Ashneer Grover has been picking up other uncalled for battles with other fairly senior veterans from multiple industries, including banking and financial capital markets. And anybody who's trying to question him, he's sort of trying to spill dirt back on them. So, so multiple rounds on social media have happened to a point that he's also raised leveled allegations against Rajneesh Kumar, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon, who was former SBI chairman, was on the board of BharatPe, and really accusing him of floundering away, the wealth that was created both at SBI and then by Ashneer Grover himself at BharatPe, and how that wealth got eroded. So I think a lot of public, public spats are on at the moment, and at a time like that, a very, very clear, apparent signal that perhaps the couple was trying to flee India. Maybe on a two-way ticket, we don't know yet. We were not given that confirmation. But and apparently a hearing is likely next week, where we should see what evidence or what confirmations or denials come from the Grover family.
Absolutely, and Ashneer Grover and wife are now to appear before EOW.
That's right.
The Mandir Marg, location of EOW wing, where they will be questioned, and we'll know henceforth what details emerge from that questioning. Right. So far, what we do know, what we can confirm, is that both Ashneer Grover and his wife were at the Delhi International Airport. They were stopped from boarding a flight to New York. They were apparently going on vacation. We don't know what the purpose of the visit was, but EOW stopped them, told them to go back because a lookout circular is currently in place. They cannot travel abroad. They will now have to appear before the Economic Offences Wing and answer some of the questions, pertinent questions that have come out of that probe.